What's going on, everybody? Hello, Anthony.
Hello.
It's the season 4 premiere. We do have an episode on YouTube right now. That was a way shorter film. Yeah.
Oh God. 13 minutes, right?
The one that was like 13 minutes, and I think I cut it down to our podcast is longer than the movie itself.
The fucking actual movie. Yeah. Like legitimately, it was a very short fucking movie.
Hello and welcome all to the Spooky Horror Show podcast. I am your host, Sean.
Spooky.
I'm joined by Anthony.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about 2019's. I need everyone to remember this. This is from 2019. The
2019.
Real cases of shadow people, not the shadow people, real cases of shadow people.
Shadow people.
The Sarah McCormick Story. As a reminder, every movie this season was chosen solely based on their box art.
The line.
Yeah.
It's really kind of like a blind pick, to be honest.
Yeah. And so far, we're not doing too good.
No. Out the gate.
No.
We weren't getting a spidey sense when we looked at this one. Nothing was ringing. We're just no.
So when it comes to our judgments, we're gonna give our regular rating, but we're also going to be giving our thoughts on whether or not, based on the box art, if the movie exceeded our expectations, if we were disappointed by what we got based on the box art, or if it's exactly what we thought it was going to be.
I could see that.
I want to remind everyone that if you want to be part of the show, we record the Spooky Horror Show podcast live Saturdays at 6 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/moondoggy82. But if you can't catch us live, or you just prefer an edited version, just search for the Spooky Horror Show on YouTube and any and all podcast services.
Everywhere. We're out there.
So now that housekeeping is out of the way, Anthony, how has your week been?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't bad. It's just been very slow at work. Like, I had no fault of any of ours. Just, I guess either people got their tax money and said, I'm gonna just do something fucking better with it, or just nobody has money to fix shit. So I can't have, there's no actual complaint of the week. But other than that, it's been fine. We got to finish up one of the Gundam kits on stream on mine during the week. And that's pretty much it. I haven't done anything else.
My week has been kind of easy.
Well, that's good.
I got the episode that went up on YouTube. I got that edited. Thursday, I was like, all right, I got everything done. Let me just play Helldivers. And then I remembered I did not have everything done. I did not finish editing the podcast. And then if I didn't finish editing the podcast on Thursday, then Friday, I would have to spend the day at the morning in the hospital. And then
come home to do that. Oh, that would come fucking home, torture.
Well, because then I'd come home and have to edit, but I also had to stream, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So then it would end up being me up until late in the night, like editing it and then everything. So
you don't sleep as it is.
Yeah. So it's like Thursday, I was up till like 2 finishing it up and everything. And then I woke up at 4:17 because that's my new wake up time. My new wake up time is
4:17, baby.
Well, that's been my week. It's been fun, but you ready to try to speed through this? Because this is awful.
Yeah, because I'd rather be doing that. I'd rather be killing bugs and shit like that than listening to this godforsaken fucking movie.
Real cases of shadow people. Because you see, I keep fucking up because it should be the real cases of the shadow people.
Shadow people.
But it's real cases of shadow people. It's, oh God. The Sarah McCormick Story. It's a 2019 found footage horror film about 3 students, Sarah McCormick, Kyle Miller, and Joseph Moore, that went missing in October of 2018. 3 people go missing. Why is this only called the Sarah McCormick Story?
I don't know. I don't even understand why they use that whole thing as it. Why didn't they just say like something about the shadow people or something?
Like they could have just left the real cases of the shadow people. Yeah, and they didn't do it.
They tried to Blair Witch it, and they sucked balls on it.
The film shows their attempts at shooting a documentary about the shadow people. Who are the shadow people? We have no idea. Nothing is ever explained.
It's so terrible.
Knowing what we now know, Anthony, did you like the box art? And based on said box art, did you think the movie was going to be good or bad?
No, honestly, looking at that though, I didn't have high hopes. I guess is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the picture kind of gave me what I kind of figured, because it looked like a knockoff. It really did, you know? So like I kind of had a feeling it wasn't going to be great, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Yeah. Like I thought it would be kind of, you know, like I kind of thought it would be a little bad, but like it's like fucking Jesus.
We've definitely covered movies that have, you know, they're so bad they're good. where it's like the movie doesn't need to be good, but you still have fun.
No.
Like playing it, like watching it rather.
Yeah.
This was not the case. When
No.
I looked at the box art for this, I just went, and now keep in mind, this was my pick, because the other criteria that we tried to do was make sure that neither one of us has seen the movie before. This way nothing muddies the judgment.
All these are fresh ones.
So this one was one of my picks. I felt like the box art was super basic.
Excuse me. Yeah.
It really just looked like one of those missing person posters you would find on like a milk carton.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So basically it looked like shit out of fucking Blair Witch.
Yeah. And it's like, I guess that's what they were going for. Like, I can't.
Oh, well, they fucking failed.
I don't know, like, what they were really going for, because I can't find any like interviews with anyone. This season, I pretty much did away with fun facts, because like
you can't get them all the time.
I think we have like 51 reviews up right now.
Okay.
And I think maybe 5 to 10 of them have really good like fun facts, and then the rest are just like blah. So I pretty much
not like.
Yeah, I pretty much did away with them, because a lot of the movies that we've been watching just don't have anything, and this is the same thing. Like I couldn't find anything on it, so it's like I don't know if this is what they were going for. I don't know why.
You can't find shit.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to just focus on Sarah, like the Sarah character, instead of the group. Like it doesn't make sense. And even with like the missing person like picture for the box art, it doesn't say anything else about the other people. It's just like it's hyper focused on her. But yeah, so I can't find shit on it. I looked at it. I feel like this is just gonna be like a movie, I guess. you know, like I really wasn't expecting anything.
Could say.
But yeah, it's like I don't really know what else to say about it, because
yeah, because there's nothing to say. The majority of this whole movie made no sense, because it was like a quarter of it was the interviews interviews of relevance to the movie, and the rest of it was ad-lib junk, dumb shit. Like it made no sense.
You know, the more I complain about like the just filler garbage that's just there, you don't have a script, so you just have them fucking make up shit, and it always sounds
it's
bad.
In there. It's all it is.
And now the more and more you're watching movies, you're noticing like this filler bullshit, and I can't enjoy these films like I used to. It's just like I sit there and I'm like, you could do so much better.
But the budget is for such a long feature film for them to do that. It's so fucking boring. Yeah. That's what it doesn't make any sense. So like they took the money portion of the movie, and then they just added nonsense.
It bothers me. It bothers me so much that the films end up like this, where it could have been. We'll get into the thoughts at the end. We'll get into that at the end. Let's just jump into the plot so we can get through the plot, because there is a whole lot of shit that doesn't happen, and then like very little that does happen. As I said before, a whole lot of nothing happens in this movie. So I'm going to try my goddamn best to try to condense as much of this as possible into as short of a thing as possible. The film opens with testimonials of randos talking about their experiences with shadow people. They don't explain who or what the shadow people are. Just tell us about their experiences. Yeah, this is one of the main things that really aggravated me, because the whole thing is about the shadow people and how they've affected these people's lives, but everyone that they talk to about the shadow people never really had anything happen to them. But then the interviews that she drives to the houses of, they've had kids like taken from them. So why the fuck are we talking to these people that just have like I saw someone standing in the hallway? Like,
there's no information.
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad.
Worst.
All of this gets interrupted by multiple different news broadcasts talking about Sarah and her missing friends. But a lot of the times the narrators seem to be focusing solely on Sarah. The final image is that of a newspaper saying cops find the last known footage of the three of them in an abandoned house. Yeah, I think just before, yeah. So it's like right after all this, like that news thing.
Okay.
We started getting that super shitty, like indie rock,
Yeah.
garbage. It's like, I don't want to hear your mixtape, bro. Like, either get real music or don't have music.
Oh, that was definitely that one dude. I don't even remember his name. That one obnoxious guy just doing all the fucking stupid voices and shit.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, so after we get that shitty fucking rock ballad, we cut to what I'm assuming is like a week before the three friends go missing. They never give you a time frame. Like, nothing pops up like a week later or anything like that, which also kind of annoys me. But I'll get into it later.
Because it gives you no presence of when the timeline's going on.
It gives us nothing. Sarah's packing her bags, and the camera guy. Here's the other thing. Like, I named the three main characters of this film.
Yeah.
What were their names?
Sarah's one of them.
Yep.
Exactly. I don't give a shit about them. They've given me nothing so far. Yep. At least in other films, you at least have one character. You're like, okay, either I want them to really die, or are they gonna make it out of here? And all of them, I just hope I never see in a film again.
Yep. And like, I realized as I was writing notes for all this that I just refer to them as Sarah, camera guy, and audio guy. That's it.
Because nobody cares about them
for the whole thing.
It's terrible
because they never gave the other people anything to do until like the end of the film. Why would you care? Yeah, well, because the bulk of the important shit that happens in like the last like 5-10 minutes of the movie.
The whole
That's why it's like the
yes.
Yeah, but yeah. So Sarah is packing her bags, and the camera guy is joking that it's all her feminine products. You would think that this type of comedy is in films from like the early 2000s.
No,
like,
this is 2019, homie.
Yeah, this is 2019. This is a couple of years ago, and it's the jokes like this. They just keep getting worse. Where it's like, did you write this 15
in the tent
years ago?
to piss everyone off? Yeah. To piss everyone off?
So then the camera guy asks Sarah what frame rate she wants to use, because this is basically her film. She got them together to go make this film, and she seems to have no clue what the fuck a frame rate is. And I'm just like,
of course she doesn't.
It's your film. Like, you got this whole project. How do you not know anything about making a film and then try to, like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. In the car, we are driving, and we get more of their comedy. Here's the one fun fact I have for this movie. The majority of this movie takes place with them just driving in a car. They talk about tattoos they would get, and then Pee-wee's Big Adventure is brought up for some reason.
Yeah, randomness of that. And then they start talking about him jerking off and shit. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
What year is this? What, like, that happened in like the 90s or something. And then Sarah asks if
none of us talk about this.
Yeah, Sarah asks if he was arrested for jacking it in a theater. One of them responds like yes, and the other asks why couldn't he just do it at home like everyone else? It was a pornographic theater.
Yes.
He wasn't going there watching Disney movies.
The Pennywinks.
He wasn't going into a movie theater and they're playing fucking Lady and the Tramp and fucking it was a porno theater,
you know,
right?
Fucking people.
It's a dark room that plays hardcore porn on a really big screen in a room that accommodates a shit ton of people so they can jerk off. This is also in 1991. This movie was made in 2019. Why the fuck are they talking about this? These people wouldn't even know who the fuck Pee Wee Herman is. Why the fuck are they bringing it up? Why are they bringing it up? This is so stupid. They're like, this will be edgy. It's fucking stupid. It is terrible fucking writing. It's so infuriating. Message.
It's cheap shots is really what it is.
Yeah. Well, this is a message to all indie filmmakers who want to make a found footage film. Write a fucking script. Don't be lazy. Just write a script. You will not, in any way, shape, or form, most likely have money to hire actors that are good at improv. So don't let them fucking improv. Write a goddamn script and have them stick to it.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna need it if it's gonna be a shitty fucking movie.
You know what tends to make all of these indie found footage films so shit? The fucking dialogue.
Lack of fucking good actors. Yes. Yeah. Well, I guess that's what I meant by that. But
yeah,
you know, they're not working with each other. They're just saying the script, and they suck at just that. Like, they'd probably be better if they fucking read it just, like, off a fucking prompter.
Well, it's a thing that always annoys me when you watch a lot of these movies, right? So we can tell when And like I've had comments on things when like I say something negative and like write a fucking script, and you know actors or directors will reach out and they'll be like, oh, we did have a script. I call fucking bullshit.
Where?
Because all of this, if you had a script, then one, you don't know how to write a script, or two, you don't know how to read, because none of this shit is written right. How do you have people that don't even talk like they've known each other?
Like they're friends. They have a backstory.
Yeah, like you're not fucking, what's his name? Daniel Day-Lewis. All right. You're acting as people that have known each other. So you just talk to people like you talk to people. Like, how fucking hard is that? It fucking infuriates me. Do not let your actors riff. They are not improv comics. All right. They're not trained
and maybe
actors.
That was one of the things that they were training for, you know, those annex schools.
Because it's like, I don't know if these people, because usually with a lot of these, it's the director is hiring people that the director is hiring a bunch of people that they know. They're not usually actors. It's hey, I don't have a lot of money, so they grab friends. So it's like, I don't know if terrible. I don't know if these people are friends, but based on how they
don't have nothing. Yeah.
Based on how they were conversing with each other, it's like the first fucking time that they met each other. So if these people are friends, what the fuck direction were you giving them to make them seem so fucking weird? It's rigid.
They were
awful.
Rigid.
But we are done with the Pee Wee Herman conversation. Why? Because we moved on to a conversation about amputee porn.
Oh yeah.
What is this?
Dude, it's a terrible fucking movie.
Then Sarah starts talking about how she wants to fuck Simba. Like, okay, what? And then they talk about a bunch of other shit. The driver has to explain to Sarah what B-roll is when he says he's going to film B-roll. Again, why is she making a fucking film when she knows absolutely nothing about filmmaking?
Nothing about films.
It's so fucking infuriating. They grab some food. The food looks disgusting. And they're acting so fucking stupid inside this restaurant that I don't feel like real people act like that. It's whatever. Sarah cuts all the corn off of her cob.
That's a waste of corn on the cob. Why would you get corn on the cob?
They all say, they look at her like she's fucking weird, and she's like, what? I do it so it doesn't get stuck in my teeth. That won't stop it from getting stuck in your teeth. It's still gonna get stuck in your teeth.
I get that, but it's still not the point of a corn on the cob.
Yeah, it's like, are you just like shoveling it into your mouth? Like, I don't get it.
Going on.
We get more of their comedy before we cut back to them in the car. Now 11 minutes into the movie, and we just now find out what the fuck they're even doing. This is just this is just the first stop. No.
In the plethora of absolutely terrible fucking decisions and choices.
So they are on their way to the first stop in a series of stops to meet up and interview a man who lost his daughter. Before she disappeared, they both saw the shadow people.
Shadow people. Shadow of people.
We're getting more of their comedy. They stop to pee. The camera dude spends all his time giggling, and Sarah pees on her sandals. We're then back in the car where the camera dude is talking about coming on a canvas and selling it as nut art.
Yeah, I was like, why in the like, how do you have friends that tolerate shit like that? Like, we were gross, but like, you didn't say weird ass shit like that.
And you're saying it on camera. Like, that's the other thing.
In 2019.
But it gets better. Because now it's time for the molestation jokes. I just can't with this fucking movie, dude. I just fucking can't.
I barely could pay attention.
Like, I felt so bad when you were like, you just texted me like, dude, this movie is so fucking bad.
I was like, this is so fucking terrible.
It's like, you could have been like
fucking model.
Yeah. Instead, you're having to watch this.
I'm fucking trying to pay attention to it.
It's like, I'll be better. I'll watch it. I should not have picked this movie to decide to be good.
The one time I decided to give forth the effort, it doesn't pay off.
They arrive at the home of Stephen Seffertson. Yes, I think that's how it's pronounced. But he is played by David E. McMahon, who is playing Semward Yarley, aka the Demon of Serling, in the upcoming film The Demon of Serling. Stephen explains that he first started seeing the shadow people after his daughter was born. They just look like shadows, but like even darker than that. He would usually see them.
That's not a description.
I mean,
describe the shadow.
Yeah, they look like shadows of people, but darker. Like you can see through a shadow. This is something like you can't see through. It looks like a void.
Black matter.
He would usually see them outside her room, but would disappear when he would turn the lights on. I would just sleep with lights on. That's just me.
Leave the lights on.
His daughter started to see the shadow people, but he told her they weren't real because he didn't want to scare her. However, on or around her 10th birthday, she came into his bedroom and woke him and his wife up, saying that the shadow people got into her room and they were holding her down. They told her it was a dream and to go back to bed, and that was the last time they saw her. If you've been seeing the shadow people,
they got their kid taken.
Yeah, but you know that the shadow people are real because you've been seeing them since she was born. Why, if she says, hey, they got into our room, if they got into my room and they were holding me down, why wouldn't you go and investigate? You know that the things are real. Like, why are you just like, it's all in your head.
They wanted to brush up their kid.
Police had them as prime suspects. They never actually investigated anything. They just wanted to close the case. So he lost his wife,
naturally
lost his job, and then he asks Sarah what she's trying to get out of this, because that's another thing. Like, why is she filming this? Like, we don't know why any of this is happening.
What does it have to do is it a family member? Does she just have special interest?
She tells him she wants to shine a light on this as more people need to know about it, but she still never explains exactly what's going on or what she's hoping to get out of it. Because just saying I want to shine a light on something, that doesn't fucking explain anything. That's a non-fucking answer.
It says what you're doing, but why do you want to shed a light on it? What does it have to do with you?
So the camera starts to get all staticky, and then it cuts back to them in the car. Camera dude is trying to figure out why the camera just cut out since the batteries were still good. Then the convo devolves into girls squirting, or how I think it was the camera guy that was saying how he was sucking a dick or something. Yeah. I don't know. It was so fucking weird.
Dicks. It doesn't make
it was like he was talking about, it reminds me of the time I was sucking this dick, but then he starts talking about a girl squirting. I'm like, what is this? Who is writing this? That's right, no one's writing it. He's just saying shit.
Random ass unnecessary things.
When Sarah asked if anyone believes in the shadow people, the driver says he's agnostic about it, but Sarah 100% believes in it, doesn't explain why she believes in them, because why would she? They then arrive.
Why shed light on what we're doing?
They then arrive at a crazy lady's house. I believe her name is
Not a crazy lady's house.
I think all they called her was Miss Montgomery. I'm pretty sure. She has Celtic music blasting in her house and believes the shadow people are responsible for taking her husband in 2013. This is the second interview that Sarah shows up to interview someone in these short shorts.
And she has these weird, like, sticky legs. It's weird.
It's Florida, so it's all humid.
Oh, God. Now, okay. That makes sense, too.
Yeah, I'm not shaming anyone for the way that they dress. However, it could just be me.
It wasn't very flattering.
If you're interviewing people and being on film, presenting a documentary, why are you dressed super fucking trashy to show up at these fucking people's houses and like present yourself as
you said
like someone to take care of? Yeah, I was just like, this is so fucking stupid.
We've both been to Florida, no?
Miss Montgomery is crazy. She is full on crazy. She's been seeing the shadow people for a while, and she feels that they use telepathy to make you look at them. I feel like she would be a
How are you using telepathy? Yes. How would you be using telepathy when you can't actually see them when you look?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. She says that they feel what you feel, so if you aren't scared of them, they tend to leave you alone. Her take is that 99% of shadow people are evil, but not hers. Hers are the good ones.
No, not hers.
And she would do anything for it because she loves herself. It's like, what?
Stockholm syndrome.
It's like, oh God, I don't know, man. I just don't know. They start to hear some noises in the house, but the host can't hear it, but Sarah can hear it. And she asks Sarah, like, have you seen shadow people before? And she just says no, and then just abruptly cuts the interview.
No.
What you're saying is that she
has
what
you're saying
100%
is I interviewed you for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing.
Sarah doesn't answer her friend's questions about what happened at that house. It's just like, next stop, Savannah, Georgia. And it's like, sure. By the waterfront, Sarah tells us what the next stop is. they're heading to Mrs. Phillips' house to talk about her missing daughter. Then just random footage of them walking around Savannah, and then the camera guy complaining about bugs, and then we're back in the car, all this useless shit until we cut to them sitting.
Fucking banter.
It cuts to them setting up a tent on the beach. I guess that's where they're sleeping for the night. But more importantly, this is where Sarah tells us that she's had paranormal experiences, and that's why this doc is so important to her.
Thanks for telling me this far in.
Yeah, we're probably roughly like halfway through, and she's just but the thing is, all she said is that she's had paranormal experiences. She doesn't tell us.
What does that even mean?
She doesn't tell us what the experience is. Like, just fucking tell us what happened.
I'm sure I've had done a drug or two in my day where I've had a paranormal experience. Tell us what you mean by this.
It's right after this we get like a voiceover of her while she just like walks around in a bikini top. Like that's it. Like what is the point of this? This should have been just like a talking head piece where it's her interview for the documentary telling like people what happened. Because at the beginning of the film, they said that all of this is unedited footage the police found and are releasing it to the public.
Very clearly.
Was to like figure out more stuff. So how did a voiceover track get onto the footage?
And it find its way on there? Are they trying to say that was the spirit? No. That wasn't the way that works.
It's like you have to like
be consistent.
With found footage, you have to fully think the stuff through. You cannot turn around and be like, oh, this is a found footage. These are the
random shit in it.
Yeah. This is like unedited footage of the stuff we found. It was released by the police, and then like explosion, like VFX stuff, and it's like, oh, like you can't have that shit in there. It doesn't fucking make sense. All this shit needs to make sense. You have to have a reason for why the camera's on all the time. Because if you're being chased by some fucking psycho killer, why the fuck is the camera on? Like, there's no reason for the camera to be on. It's just,
you'd be running.
I don't know, man. It's just. It really, really, really annoys me when we get shit like this.
Irks you.
Now we get more stupid jokes as they sit around the campsite until nightfall when Sarah asks how they feel about the interview so far. They all agree that they like it, but one of them, no clue which one, because both of those guys are exactly the fucking same guy to me.
And they're not.
That specific person that I don't know which one it is wished that they investigated the sounds that were coming from that house. Then we get more.
You know what? I don't even remember the names, so I can't even tell you which one it was.
We then get more slice of life bullshit of them inside the tent.
Slice of life.
And then farting, because now look, my stance: farts are funny.
Farting on camera? Well, yeah.
Farts are funny.
Like on camera.
However, farts are not funny when you have to sit there and just talk about said fart for 10 fucking minutes. That's no longer funny. Like I don't know how to
basking in your own beef.
Like I don't know how else to explain that to people, but yeah, that's just not funny. I'm fairly certain, not completely, but kinda, that the camera guy is gay.
Okay.
I think
is that the one that's very perverted?
I think it's the one that was talking about how he was sucking a dick and then a girl squirted on him or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was him.
I thought, I think that's the one you're talking about.
But then we get titty shots of Sarah and an ass shot of her while she's sleeping. So it's like, I don't know. It's the next day.
I have no idea.
And we head over to the Phillips house. Sarah tells them about her case. It more recently happened. I think it was like 2016. And this film was supposed to be like 2018, so it's like 2 years prior. When they finally get in to do the interview, they ask her about her daughter. Her daughter's name is Katie. Miss Phillips says that she was 8 going on 18 when she disappeared.
I was like, calm the fuck down,
lady. That. It's like, I get it. She's saying that she was like really mature for her age and blah blah blah. However, they already stated multiple times that Katie was 10, but she says that when she disappeared, she was 8.
I thought that's what. Yeah, I thought that was what you were gonna bring up.
But
that's what I mean. They don't sit there and read over their own scripts when they go from scene to scene.
Exactly. I even made sure I time-stamped it because I was like, wait, what? And I pulled a screen grab of the conversation because they put up over like the backdrop of everything, like when they first show up at the house, and Miss Phillips,
Sarah,
Phillips, when she opens the door to greet them, a little card comes up and it says, on March 12th, 2016, 10-year-old Katie Phillips was reported missing by her parents. The following is an interview with Mrs. Phillips. So,
Yeah.
how fucking old was this chick? Was she actually 10? Was she 8? Like, what's going on? Anyway.
Which one was it? Did you wait 2 years to report this? Like,
yeah, the interview's cut short when the Mr. Phillips, I guess we could just say, gets home early and tells them to leave. What technically says, get out. So they leave. We finally have a chance for some real interesting stuff here with them. But no, we cut to them parked in some rundown, shitty-ass looking parking lot with the camera guy asking Sarah if she has any more cigarettes.
That's it. That's what I mean.
Why are they
I
smoking?
don't understand. Why are they wasting film on nonsense in between actual relevant crap?
Yeah, I don't get it.
You gotta think that costs money.
Yeah, I honestly, I think the thing that pissed me off the most about this specific scene was the fact that she's smoking. Now, we grew up around smokers, and it was like, whatever. But like in 2023, 2024 now, but like once we got into like the 20s, it's just like, if I see someone smoking a cigarette, like, I just don't want to deal with them. I look at them and I'm like, you're fucking disgusting.
The smell kills me.
The smell,
it's
it
hard
rots
now
your
to smell
teeth.
it.
And you can't be like, oh, I don't smell.
Bad.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. No, I eat gum. It doesn't matter. You smell disgusting.
But you still smell like a cigarette, though. It's so hard to get the smell off. People try so hard.
Yeah, it's just like, I see it, I'm like, it's 2024. Why the fuck are people smoking? I just, whatever.
You know flat out that you're gonna die. Like,
yeah. You can't even be like, I don't know
one way or
I got
another.
lung cancer. Like, get the fuck out of here.
No.
We get more of them driving around. And the camera guy doing a racist Indian accent, then going into a racist Jamaican accent, then going into a shitty Schwarzenegger accent. This movie is just a nothing burger wrapped up in a shit-covered toilet paper. Like, that's all that this movie is. It's awful.
There's nothing of value in it. The whole movie is a disappointment.
I have it written right here at this specific point. We are officially into an hour in this movie, and we have only had 10 minutes of actual movie and only 5 minutes of actual good movie, and that 5 minutes was with the dude that's gonna be in the movie I produced. That's the only good time of this. He's the only actor so far that has delivered his lines of dialogue in a believable way. He's the only one. How the fuck are we an hour into this movie and we haven't come across a single fucking person?
Was this a crowdfunded? Did they make this into a crowdfunded thing, or was this honestly, like an actual studio?
No. This is definitely some indie bullshit. I would think possibly they crowdsourced, because those fucking testimonials in the beginning, where it's just like random fucking people that you're like, why the fuck are they talking to these people? Like, there's no reason to fucking talk to these people. Usually that shit is like, oh, well, they paid X amount of money and now they get to have a speaking role in the movie. That's what that usually tends to be.
Okay.
But it's just bad. And now we get more shitty music and then more shitty accents. And they're finally now going to meet this guy that they don't know, that for some reason only she knows. And he won't give them his name. No clue. But he won't give them his name and has them meeting him in a rundown wooden shanty town area. And even though he's already on camera, he then tells them to turn the camera off or he's leaving. Motherfucker, you're already on camera.
You're already there.
What are you talking about?
I made it here and you're there on my camera. So whether I turn it off or not, you still have evidence that we've met each other.
It's like you could have easily been like, all right, we'll turn the camera off. We'll turn the camera off. And then you turn the camera off. You throw up a still image of what the last thing you saw with this guy and just superimpose the audio. Just because the camera's off, the audio is still running. And then you have that. No, it just turns off and then it cuts back on and immediately he is okay with being on camera. What the fuck is happening? What is happening in this movie? It's basically
laziness.
It's a crazy person being crazy and then shows them a video from
crazy person
I'm assuming
crazy.
His security camera. I'm still not fully sure on that, but he's not allowed to have them film the camera to see what was happening.
Yeah.
So they
And
have
it's like, well, so we're completely in the dark. Thanks. I'm supposed to just take your word for it.
Yeah. So then they turn off the camera just to turn it back on afterwards and be like, "Oh my God, did you see what happened? Oh, that's crazy!" And then Sarah and the sound guy they watch the video, they freak out, and then the dude is like, "Oh, I'm deleting the video."
Yeah.
Why are you? Deleting the video?
What did you wait this whole time not and held the video just for this exact moment?
But like the camera guy didn't see the video, so now they have to explain to the camera guy what was on the video that neither he saw or we saw. And they're like, "Oh, it was like this dude walking on a roof of a building and he's about to jump, and then his shadow came up and out of nowhere." And then they started talking to each other,
really
and then they both disappeared.
I wonder what it looks like.
This is something that should have been shown. But now we get this. Why do they keep doing slow-mo? Like it kept dipping into like slow motion, and I don't understand why, like at all.
I guess that you were trying to find out which one would work best, but never unedit it.
Yeah, because they have no fucking clue what the hell they're doing. They pull over, they do some sort of like a fade transition that again doesn't make sense, because this is supposed to be a found footage film, that like footage that has been unedited and released by the police, and not a finished final edited project. On top of the fact that how big is this SD card that they're filming onto?
This isn't the first time we've made a comment like that.
Yeah, it's why these. Oh, the police released this. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And if they are,
you clearly edited it.
If they are, then what they need to do is release it as a where you're like tape 1. And then like do that shit, but they never do that. We get more B-roll, and then we're back to driving, then more B-roll of them in nature, then more driving. They finally make it to a hotel room. I think they only stay for a couple of hours. I'm not completely sure. I don't think they edited anything because the audio doesn't sound like anything they've shown before. We now get more B-roll of them sightseeing, which has nothing to do with the shadow people. And now we're an hour and 15 minutes in, and they're finally on their way to the last interview in Tennessee. The camera dude complains that pretty much none of this is amounting to anything.
Because it isn't amounting to anything.
He's pissed that Sarah isn't asking any hard-hitting questions. She isn't pushing her subjects for answers to said questions. So it all just really seems like it's a waste of time. They finally get to Stephanie Yost's house and they interview her. She lost both her sister and her brother to the shadow people before her mother moved.
Supposedly.
She's hilarious. She's another one that was like a really a welcomed part, because she's like, "Okay, would you like this?" And she's like, "No, I said I'd do the interview. I never said anything about letting you go in my house." Smart. Because it's 3 young kids just rolling up to your house and fucking with cameras and lights and shit. And it's like, "Oh, can we go inside?" Like, no, get the fuck out of my house.
No, get the fuck out of my property.
Again, she says the police thought it was her parents that took her kid, even though, well, like, I think they said possibly her dad came back in the middle of the night and took her siblings. I don't know.
Oh, I guess so.
But when the shadow people came back for her mother just packed everything up and moved them out of the house, and then she hasn't seen the shadow people since, which doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, well, we're only attached to like this property. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. After finding out that the house that they left was still standing and that she still owned the property, Sarah wants to go check it out. Stephanie doesn't want to go, but Sarah talks her into letting them just go and check it out. And where exactly is this house, Anthony? It's right down the block. Yeah.
I know.
She's like really basically it's on the same block that she's living on now. So the shadow people came, took her brother and sister at 2 separate times. I think like one disappeared, and then they're like, "Oh no!" And then the other one disappeared. They're like, "No!"
Clearly,
and then they came back for her. Then they came back for her, and the mom was like, "No, we're leaving." And they moved down the block, and the shadow people were like, "Oh, we can't find her." Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But they go to the house. They shoot some footage of the exterior of the house. They do her little talking head piece, and while walking around, looking into windows of the house, they find that the back door.
In Texas.
They find out that the door in the back is unlocked. Sarah doesn't want to go in because it would be breaking and entering.
Don't go in.
However, one of them points out that it's not breaking and entering because the door is unlocked. It's just trespassing.
Yeah, because that makes it better.
Yeah, they walk around the creepy house, checking out the rooms. Everything is surprisingly in good shape for no one being there for 30 years. Camera guy shoots them an idea of staying the night and setting up GoPro cameras to like get multiple angles of everything. This way, for like the, as he puts it, for the documentary, it'll look like the security camera footage. That possibly they catch something. They get Sarah to agree on it based on the fact that they have nothing to show for this documentary. If they just leave, that's it. They have a couple of
that still didn't make enough for a documentary. God, they suck balls.
Yeah.
I know that's part of the movie, but even in real life, if that's what you really fucking think, oh my God. You should have ditched all roles and just went home like an hour ago.
Yep. They decide to spend the night and they set up GoPro cameras, or as they keep calling them, sports cameras. So he has multiple sports cameras, but doesn't have a light for his main camera rig for going into dark places. Got it. They're just sitting around in the dark with a candle, even though it's still light out. The audio guy is just listening to the mics, which is smart. I even think when it comes to like ghost hunters, when they're walking around, someone should have like a parabolic microphone or something to see if you hear everything.
Yeah, just listen to yes.
But he doesn't hear
it. Makes more sense. They put it in video games for a reason.
Camera dude is watching the cameras while the audio dude just walks Sarah to the bathroom because she's scared. While the audio dude is standing outside the bathroom door so Sarah can shit, camera guy calls out that he saw a teddy bear move and that a shadow blipped on the camera. Sarah immediately wants to leave. She's feeling nauseous and then starts crying. Asking the guys how they could not want to leave. I'm just like, I don't know, man. Maybe because that's what you hired them for.
Yes. They're there to get the shot.
Yeah, this is the whole reason. Now, did they need to be inside the house to do it? No, they could have set up the fucking cameras and then like went to the car and then just come back the next day and picked it up, but it's whatever.
Oh yeah, you didn't need anybody in there. They could have done all that shit alone.
But it's now, with like 5 minutes left in the movie, that Sarah decides
and now everything happens.
To trauma dump on the guys and tell her like her experience with the shadow people, how she walked in on her dad talking to himself, and one night she heard a loud bang, and when she looked down the hall she saw a shadow figure. When she blinked, it was closer to her, so she hid under her covers. She hid under there for a while, and when she finally worked up the courage to look out, the shadow was right on top of her, and she ran away and ended up finding her father dead. Self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Bullshit. Shadow people call that what we're really trying to say? Shadow people made him do it. He went crazy.
Now stuff around the house is acting up. The clocks turn on, something gets thrown, and a bedroom door slams shut. Camera guy goes to investigate the door slamming shut, locking him in there alone, and then he vanishes. After they get the door open, they find his camera on the floor. They go to leave, and the other dude vanishes, and then Sarah. The film ends with the title card that reads, "This is the last known footage of the 3 missing students, Sarah McCormick, Joseph Moore, and Kyle Miller. All 3 are still currently listed as missing. A shadow person was the last thing the camera picked up before she disappeared, and that is the end of Real Cases of Shadow People. This Sarah McCormick Story."
You really don't see anything, though.
No. Anthony, what are your spoiler-free thoughts?
I wouldn't use the script to wipe my own asshole.
If they had a script.
If they had a script, yes. I wouldn't use it to wipe my own asshole. I don't think they thought things through. I think it could have, you started off with the idea of like some Blair Witch bullshit, but didn't do anything to lead up. At least they led up with shit. They had like, you find the sticks or something. You got nothing in the whole middle all the way up to the end. And then you want to hit us up with everything all at once and then cut. Fuck that. That's terrible. Give us money. Give us the money you're giving these fucking people.
Every time
we can come up with a better fucking script.
Give me money to make something so that it could be like, yeah, you think you can do better? Here's some money.
Here you go.
Let's see if you don't put your foot in your mouth, Let's see. So just give us money. I don't know what this film wants to be. I don't know.
Oh, it wants to be anything but what it is.
Yeah. I don't know if it wants to be a movie or a found footage movie.
What was that one that was like, it was trying to be one and it just kept going back and forth. And I'm like, you can't have cinematic interviews. Wasn't it Hell House? No.
Hell House was really good. Oh fuck, I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was those fucking annoying bro guys, the Ouija experiment or something like that.
Oh.
Right? All of a sudden everything is found footage and then it becomes like, oh, if it's now it's a cinematic
like a
shot.
Cinematic, yeah.
The camera guy is still outside. What is going on? If everyone in this movie like died or disappeared, how did the film get edited? There are interstitials built into everything that are saying memory card number 1. That would mean that the footage was just being posted as is and not messed with. So that doesn't make any sense, right? How did the voiceover get in there? How about the speed ramping and slow-mo and the scene transitions and all that? Like all of that screams this is an edited movie. But if you're presenting it as a found footage film where the police have this and they're just giving it to the
look like a
public to
found
try to find
footage.
stuff, then you have to follow all the rules of a found footage film, and they're not doing that. The acting in this, besides
it was
I don't
terrible.
remember what the woman's name is.
The actress's name?
Yeah, I don't remember what like the last person they interviewed was.
I don't remember at all.
But her,
Like I said,
she
it's
was-
hard for me to fucking remember that movie.
She was really good. David E. McMahon, his character was great. His performance was great. Him and her were the only like shining light of this. The comedy in this was dog shit. The acting in this was dog shit. The camera work was fucking awful. Invest in a light. You can get lights super fucking cheap.
Invest
There's
in
no
a light.
reason. There's no reason for it to for shit to look that bad. Especially if you're not using a great camera, then you need more light because it's not taking in enough light to not make it look shitty. It's just there's a whole bunch of stuff that you should have fucking done and you didn't fucking do it. And I hate it. And the music was terrible. The music was fucking awful. I don't know if that was like someone's friend or if it was one of their music, but they're awful. That sounded like a song that you would write to like a girlfriend to be like, I wrote you this song. And you know, it's always dog shit. It's like, you're not the next Alanis Morissette writing about a bad breakup. Like that's not what this is. Like, just stop it. But yeah, no, I don't like this movie. This is another 1 out of 5. Like, don't watch
Purely off a blind pick.
Next week's film is The Hermits, but the title that you might find it on other things is Les
Apparently isn't the right one.
Outra Sequez, I think. But thank you everybody very much for stopping by the season premiere of the Spooky Spooky Horror Show podcast.
Spooky.
Remember, you can find us on YouTube at the Spooky Spooky Horror Show and Spooky Spooky Horror Show on all podcast services. As you notice in the banner that I have down, there you go. Below us, there is a QR code. If you scan that, it'll take you to every one of the links that we have.
Straight to it.
Remember, liking, commenting, and subscribing does help when it comes to YouTube, and rating us 5 stars on any of the podcast services is also very helpful. But again, thank you very much for stopping by the podcast, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Next time.